something like that. I'd like the Rise a lot more for the front line for that.
I love Gangplank here.
But nope, it's going to be the Gragas, and we're going to have 2 frontliners.
Oh, this is really cool, though, as we do have the marriage combo coming through, not in the bottom lane. However, Closer is going to be playing that Lucian in the mid lane to try and attack this Rise and really clip autos. Someone dies. That is just how it is going to work. As Ari's in the mid lane, they have to be a little bit careful here as Dove is going to engage. Cuz just says absolutely not on my watch, my friend, is aiming, dashes forward. Closer has to flash to get out of the way. That Peacemaker was fantastic as well from aiming to just soften up the members of Live Sandbox, and they take down this inhibitor, but they're looking for more. That's a brilliant cast to deny the Devour, and aiming is now on an absolute rampage through the base of Live Sandbox. They're all on the fountain, but this game is absolutely done.
Yeah, definitely is, as they just walk forward and auto it. Live Sandbox really lost control of this one in the draft, and we talked about how flexible KT can be in draft, but this is not what I meant. I didn't mean just getting absolutely bopped in a bad bot lane.
Yeah, well, Rascal gonna have to flash out of the way of this one. As you can see, KT pretty happy to grab themselves some kills on this fountain, but the Nexus is gonna fall down.
And the Corki, but something like in Italy would have all-ined on the poke at least, as Cannon appears here in draft and will actually finally make it through, but it's so difficult and so greedy to actually play this Cannon into...
Aiming to go, and Live Sandbox picking up 2 stragglers here on KT's side, and no one could do anything about it. Rascal does have his ultimate, no flash available, no dash cannon either, and this is base broken. Inhibitor taken down, and the first inhib will belong to Live Sandbox.
Game 2, definitely a real game of League of Legends compared to our first one. We got a lot in this one. 24 kills across.
Now you can see Life on the back end, but Arya just nothing he can do. Closer takes down that one. As looks like this Nexus is not long for the world, as Rascal's just trying to take them on a bit of a goose chase here. Uses his Onias, but he's not going to be able to do enough damage here. Moonlight Vigil sails by majestically, and that will be Live Sandbox tying up the series. We will be going to a deciding game, and Life's sets win rate. You can actually get yourself out of the way of a lot of these issues. You can also buffer Arcane Shift when you are getting bubbled and things like that. And it just
team fight, because that's your only win condition. And Rascal's like, please just give me that chance, give me that opportunity. But the Live Sandbox say, no, I'm going to get Baron, I'm going to group up as 5, and I'm going to push all the way to your Nexus. That's the idea.
Yep. Trisha Barrage is just going to take an entire champion's health bar off of the bottom lane of KT. And Aiming and Life are just being kept in check right now. The culling, yeah, we make that massage joke a lot, but I mean, that's all it really is starting to look like here from this KT80 carry. Yep. Q connects, and so Aiming's like, well, I'm not going any further forward, and it looks like Live Sandbox just want to take this all the way down the top lane as Croco gets exhausted, does go golden in the end. It's a great tidal wave to try and get that CC, and now Croco will be taken down, but now Closer gets into the back line. Not going to be able to jump onto the fountain, though, as that is a couple of kills going down. Cuz and Arya both dead, but Rascal's still alive, and Aiming is still doing damage, but the challenge has been issued. And Rascal will go down, and then Aiming eventually does fall. Closes Aurelia. This stage of the game, so dangerous, and Live Sandbox. They lose game 1 so quickly, and then come back with a...
For Nongshim, the Jace is still open, but you're already kind of competing with a bit of a poke war here, so you don't necessarily want that.
is still open as well, but I like the Jace. Get a little bit more of that physical damage. Otherwise, it is like 3 magic, like heavy magic damage dealers for the top side. So I agree with you. I think Jace is a good choice.
Yeah, you have, I mean, you can engage with the Diana, put a box on.
And he might just deliver it to your Nexus, and you're not even going to be there. You're not going to be home.
Yeah, I mean,
are we base racing? What's happening here? You don't have any structures.
This is a bad look for Nongshim. I hate to say it. You don't win this race.
Well, I mean, they're still going to go for it, I guess, but I don't think it's going to work. They're going to try as Zayas comes in and says, absolutely not. And T1, they don't even need to win a team fight. There, in fact, wasn't one. Bullets from a Jace the entire time, but no, it is going to be that Lee Sin and Akali. on Nongshim's side. And so that means it's not going to be any poppies at all that we're going to see. And Keria thinking about grabbing his Lux here.
The Lux is so, this comp is so squishy for Nongshim. Like, look at it. It is not going to be, Force of Natures is so far beyond like where we're looking. The Lux gives you a lot of extra damage, plus the ability to stop a Lee Sin in this track, stop a Kali from getting on top of you. But it'll be the Lulu instead.
All right, that 1 second doesn't scare.
No teleport for Kana. He's going to walk all the way here.
Yeah.
They're going to use the Hextech Gate.
Yeah, Teleporter is going to come down as T1 know that they want to turn this one. Dread tries to get into the backline. There's the final chapter, and it's a great gold card that lands. The Jinx already taken down as now Faker's in trouble as well. Chaos Storm trying to get that zoning in, but Canna finally turns up, and the Victor cannot do anything. The backflips are coming through. All of the 5-point strikes, and you can tell this is so cathartic for the former T1 player as Nongshim are now flashing in the jungle, and they will pick up the win in Game 2.
Incredible execution of this comp. It feels like we've talked a lot about how tempo-based comps need to get ahead. They need to get those advantages, but it so very rarely happens in this scaling meta, especially in a slow region like the LCK. But Nongshim are the first team to pull it off with flying colors, make that first pick Twisted Fate work swimmingly here.
Oh, yeah.
And it was off of 2 Hextech Gate teleports. They won those major fights. The board, but we gotta lock this in.
Yeah. I mean, Steadfast Presence isn't on perpetually, as Peter's...
What?
Peter's just lost the Blitzcrank! This guy is a god! All right, write it down. Put him on the pog.
Story of this game now is Team 1 are pushing to end.
Exactly right. Canna is pushing on the top side of the map, but look at how quickly these structures evaporate. Gumushi gets any sort of free time. He will just rip them apart, and Faker is doing so much damage on this Azir. It is just ridiculous. Yep, T1 take 2 inhibitors, but they are looking for these Nexus turrets. Moonlight Vigil does go down. Manages to find a couple of snares there as Peter looking to try and get himself out. He won't be able to, though, because Zeus has dived on top. And that is the Jinx now picking up these kills. Faker goes golden on the fountain, and Canna will be taken down as well. Gumushi cleans up his former teammate, and T1 will get the 2-1 victory.
Ready, so we can take a look at that. As T1 should be ahead. Well, actually they're tied with Genji after the 2-1 victory tonight.
Yeah. And I think a beautiful, beautiful series tonight, right? Like, this was maybe surpassing expectations even. I think Nongshim really stood up to T1. T1 still showing why they're up there together with Genji in the first place. But for Nongshim, as long as you're not facing Genji, T1, Damwon, I expect them to be the clear favorite. The team looks very much like what we expected at the start of the split, even though their first series was a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, and this is going to be the matchup for tomorrow. It's actually going to be you and I casting this one, Chronicler. Halma Life Esports up against Downone Kia, and then Fred Breon up